I'm a minute late and maybe a dollar short. What's going on, everyone? Of course, it's Tim. This is Online Big Blue. Ugh. Look hard this morning. Just got up. Not well, I didn't just get up. I got up a little while ago. What's going on, everyone? It's New Year's Day. I will be with you again. We got Mike Lee. We got Zach Attack in the room. We got the Giants, the win and in game on Sunday against the not vaunted Indianapolis Colts. Listen, if we don't beat the Colts, and we don't beat the Colts bad on Sunday, and we have to wait to potentially have to go into next Sunday's game against the Philadelphia Eagles, we got some problems. We got some issues then. And I'm hoping we don't reach to that point. I hope we don't reach 0 hour. I hope we don't reach the critical mass of having to potentially have to deal with the Eagles. Because at this point in time, the Eagles, the way they're working out, they may even need the game on next week in reference to their playoff aspirations for the locking in the number one seed, especially with Dallas winning the other day. So, the Eagles look like they were going to have that number one seed. Looks like they were going to be locked into that seed. And now there's a potential that they could need the game in 2 weeks against the Giants at home in Philadelphia to get that first round bye, to get that number one overall seed. So you have to, you have to take care of business. You have to take care of business and take care of business quickly. You have a bad, you don't have Jonathan Taylor. You have Nick Foles potentially sitting there as your quarterback. What's up, Mike Lee? What does Mike Lee have to say here? Mike Lee says, with the current weather report, looks like ground and pound for the G-men, looks like 40s and rain. Yeah, and that's the Giants' strength. Run the ball. I say it before. I always think of the old Herman Munster episode. Run, run, run. That's what you need to do. That's what this team needs to do. Run the ball, play good defense. Doubtful is Adoree Jackson. Xavier McKinney is still out. I don't see Xavier McKinney coming back until maybe the playoffs. If we get to the playoffs, I could then see him coming back towards the playoffs. But like I said, I just don't see it at this point in time. We got ECK Sports in the room. We got Mr. McCormick saying, do you extend Barkley and for how much? Here's the quandary. It's a quandary wrapped in a quagmire, wrapped in a riddle. You're probably going to have about 55 plus. And those are my numbers. And I always stick by my numbers. But those things will change. Because of the fact you'll try to restructure some people, you move on from some people. You're going to try to get out from underneath some of that Kenny G money. Kenny G's still going to have a pretty good dead cap number if you move on from him. Leonard Williams, you have a $32 million number on Leonard Williams right now. You're not going to move on from him until 2024. So you would take 11 million, 11 and a half million. Oh, look, you can see Elvis in the background. You got 11.5 million. You figure you're going to need for your rookie pool. So it's going to drop you down to 44. I know everyone wants to say, well, let's bring back Daniel Jones on a team-friendly deal for like 25 million or 17 million. Well, you bring him back for even 15 million. You've already taken your cap number down to 25. If you even give Daniel Jones 15, and then you can't sign Barkley because you figure you got to give Barkley anywhere between 8 to 10. He's making a little over 8 now, and he's like the 6th highest paid running back. So he's going to probably want between 8 to 10 more money up in that first year. So that's going to knock you down to like 14 million. You can't have both. And, everyone can, good morning, Kevin. You can't have both. You can't. I'm sorry. It's the way football is run. It's the way the not, I'm not going to say organizationally, but it's the way the sport is run. You could tell me that the cap is a living, breathing thing. Yeah, the cap is a living, breathing thing until it's time to pay the piper. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles. They reached the pinnacle, then fell off the planet for 2 seasons because of the fact that they got destroyed in cap space. Same with our Saints. Same with a bunch of other teams. It just happens. It's the league. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have Saquon Barkley. You can't have Daniel Jones. You can't have them both. You can have one. And if it's me, I'm taking the running back because it's a quarterback with 13 touchdowns in, in 15 games doesn't inspire confidence in me. I'm not inspired with confidence. I'm not saying go after A.R. Richardson because I'm not a guy that likes the 1 year starting quarterback. There's too many. You think of a Kiwi Smith, you think of Dwayne Haskins, you think of a lot of people. You think of a lot of people that were 1 year wonders at quarterback, and if you take a look at Richardson's stats, he's not really even a 1 year wonder. Oh, thank you, Stephen, for all super chats. Go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital for the children. Happy New Year to chat with you. Happy New Year, Stephen. Hope you're doing well. It's it's one of those days today. It's one of those days today. I get up early, figure I'm gonna do all this fun stuff. Open the front door. The fucking front door won't open. The front door won't open. Can't get it open. Pull off the lock. Pull off the tumbler. The tumbler has literally cracked. So there's no way to get the front door open. So we have a locksmith coming here at 11. So we're probably going to go to 11 today. We're going to go till the locksmith shows up. But that's my life right now today. That's New Year's Eve here at the online Big Blue Casa. But you can have both. You can't. Do you cut Kenny G even save $6 million? But you save $6 million, but you also got to look at your dead cap number. And that's what I keep letting people understand. You got to look at the dead cap number. What's going on, Kevin? How you doing this morning? We got Zach Attack dropping in the room saying Daniel Jones, Tyrod are very similar. Zach sent me an email today in reference to the statistics, the stats between Tyrod Taylor and Daniel Jones. Not only in reference to this, comparing this season to the 17 season in Buffalo, but basically career-wise, and they're very eerily similar. And we all know what happened in 17 after the Bills went 9-7, made the playoffs, and lost in that first round. They dumped Tyrod Taylor, and they drafted some guy named Josh Allen. He still started 10 games. The Giants are probably going to take a step back next year. Their schedule is going to be more difficult. The talent right now is not there. The cupboard's not bare, but there's a lot of talent that needs to be found. And you're probably going to go with a different quarterback. I love it when Derek Carr I love the whole Carr situation because everyone was, I see all the Daniel Jones fanboys were like, oh, Daniel Jones, 2023, blah, blah, blah. Derek Carr. Wait, we can go after Carr. Carr's got a very nice, friendly contract. I don't think anyone's going to trade for him because they already know that the Raiders don't want him, so they're going to cut him. And he's going to make it through waivers. He'll make it through waivers easily. And he is a guy that you could he's a guy 31 years old you could build around. And he's a guy that you can use as a bridge. And he's a professional. He's thrown for over 4,000 yards. And you talk about not having weapons outside of this year for Carr. He's had a myriad of wide receivers. And what was Henry Ruggs at one point, was his big name, was his big guy. And he's a guy he's had bad offensive lines. He had Alex Underwood starting to a point that they just got rid of him. So, I mean, if you're going to wreck your cap a little bit, you might as well wreck it with Carr. Got a brand new car. Drive it down the boulevard. Turn the corner because I want to be chilling hard. That's cool mode D. Because it's cool being cool mode D. So many freaking pop-ups. The Saints are going to what? The Saints are going to have to blow. The Saints are going to have to blow up. There's a lot of teams that are going to have to blow it up. And we got Zach Attack dropping and Tyrod Taylor, 2,799 yards, 14 touchdowns, 8.9, 4 interceptions. And then it is eerily similar. Because then you also have DJ, 3,028, 13 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. It's very similar. Good morning, Emmanuel. What's going on, man? The difference is we don't have a top 10 pick. There is no difference in that. Who thought we were getting Eli Manning back in 2004? Who thought we were going to leapfrog into that top spot and get Eli? I have faith. And I've said it before. I got a faith in the Dable. I got faith in the Shane. Because I have a feeling they're going to find a way to get what they want to get. You get what you get and you don't get upset. But I have a feeling they will find the way. They will find their avenue. Avenue. I like singing. I like rapping to songs that people don't know besides me. Todd says, I've been telling people next year, first year of Shane's Giants, are probably going to be 6-11 kind of year. Yeah, it's going to be a drop back. But, we got to worry about this game. We got to worry about that. We got to worry about the vaunted Indianapolis Colts. Phil sends to McConkey, 14 yards, first down. Sorry, I had to do my Bob Shepard. I would stay away from Derek Carr. No, I'm not staying away from Derek Carr. Derek Carr is a professional quarterback. Derek Carr has thrown for over 4,000 yards, 4 times in his career with less than stellar weapons and wide receivers. He had Jacobs this year as a running back. But Josh McDaniels screws quarterbacks up outside of Tom Brady. Got to look at it that way. And he's not going to be cheap. My coworker is an Eagle fan and says Dome Daniel Jones is almost as good as 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins. Outdoor Jones is 8 p.m. Kirk Cousins. It's funny. I love it because so many people were, Daniel Jones had a good game in Minnesota. No doubt about it. You can't fault him. You can't not give him credit for that. Problem is, we don't play in a dome. And I've said this a million times before. We do not play in a dome. If we played in a dome, yeah, then I would be more advantageous to say, let's re-sign him. But we don't play in a dome. I love this because, like I said, I don't know if someone's at the front door, but I'll just check the front door camera. That's what front door cameras are for. So you could just check it. Because like I said, we have a broken lock in the house. So I need to get them to fix that. And there's no one at the front door. I'm going to double check here. Oh, there's a car driving by. There's a car driving by, but there's no one at the front door. But yeah, I mean, yeah. What do we got? We got 2 for 2 from RF. The Bills didn't have a top 10. They traded together. You're right. We don't have a top 10. People forget, but people forget trades on draft day. No, trades on draft day do not exist, Zach. They are not allowed. They are not allowed in the mindset of Daniel Jones lovers and apologists who are going to want to take him either way, because you're not allowed to trade. You're not allowed to draft a quarterback. You're not allowed to look at free agent quarterbacks, and you're not allowed to make a draft day trade. Have you lost your fucking mind? Tyrod Taylor did make a Pro Bowl back in the day. Unfortunately, injuries did ruin his career a little bit. He did have some problems, and he was the carrier. He was the torch carrier for many good quarterbacks. He was. Let's see. It's actually good for this young team to make the playoffs experience. It's because once they get there and experience it, it will make them even more hungrier. Let me tell you something about that. And I'm going to tell you something this from the heart, and this is from someone that has been within NFL franchises and who understands, sometimes that thing about playoff experience. There is something about playoff experience. Yes. There is something about getting to the playoffs and making a splash and getting those first year jitters out of the way. But I'm going to tell you this, you usually only have the jitters in the first quarter. Except for Arizona. Kyler Murray had it all game long. But you usually have that jitters in the first quarter. And then that experience is just experience. Because you know what? There's a lot of guys who've had bad playoff experiences the first 3-4 times into the playoffs. So does that mean the experience helped them be bad? And then they turn around and have one good game or 2 good games or make the Super Bowl, make a run? You should be hungry either way as a professional player. Your goal as a professional athlete is always to make the postseason. So while I agree with that, I gonna have to disagree at the same time. Giants going to re-sign DJ, but they're going to draft a quarterback next year, probably late in the second round. You can't. Here's the problem. You can't. They've said this a million times. You need to win. If you draft a quarterback early in the first round, or you need to win within those first 4 years. Because after that, your cap is going to be wrecked. Take a look at the Eagles. Right now, the Eagles can do what they are doing because you have Jalen Hurts on a second-round contract. So they can do the things that they're doing right now, because they have their quarterback on a second-round contract. Now, the problem is, with the second-round contract, you don't have a fifth-year option. So you're a couple of years already into the Jalen experience. You're going to have really control over him for the next season or so. And then you're going to have to decide at that point in time whether you want to re-sign him and make him your franchise quarterback, or if you're going to turn around and go into the draft. I mean, you're the Eagles. You have 2 first-round picks. You're not going to draft a quarterback unless Jalen Hurts blows it up in the playoffs. Unless his playoff experience didn't bode him well, he's gonna what you call it. He's gonna be in Philadelphia for a couple of years. The Giants have lost by 3 60-yard field goals, which is in the last 5 years is insane. It is crazy. It's crazy that we keep relying on Graham Gano. And I'm not trying to be the pontificator of bad news, but the Giants in the last 8 games are 2-5-1. And then the league comes out and says, yeah, that was a pass interference. In the end, no shit, that was a pass interference. in the end zone against Darnay Holmes, that last play in the Washington game. Yes, that was a big time pass interference. That was such a blatant pass interference. I actually turned the game off because I didn't want them to call the penalty. I assumed this: the Giants won the game. I'm turning the game off because if I watch the game, they might throw a flag. So I turned the game off and said, "I'm going to bed. I'm done." That was my logic on that play. I wouldn't say less than stellar weapons. He had Renfro walking. Devontae Adams, he had one season. How many people know Renfro? And how many people know Waller outside of that 1 year? And you're talking about the line once in 2020. Derek Carr's been there for like 10 years, DCK. 10 years. Okay. Yeah, no. Well, go look at it. Go back and look. Don't look at just one season and say, well, yeah, this guy 1 year. Well, you could say that about a lot of quarterbacks. Steven says the world is full of opinions, and sorry, totally disagree with yours. I think DJ has earned next season. How is Steven? Okay, answer me this. How is DJ earned next season? Was it via his 13 touchdowns? Is it his 2-5-1 record over the last 8 games? Is it the fact that he had two scoring drives, game-winning drives, that he threw one pass? People forget this. They want to talk about his game-winning drives. Okay, one of those game-winning drives, he didn't throw the ball. He didn't throw the ball once in the fourth quarter. The other game-winning drive, he threw the ball once in the fourth quarter. You're relying on Saquon Barkley. You remove Saquon Barkley from this equation, and you take him away from Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is just as average as he is now. So and after 4 years, how can you give him $20 million? They're not doing it. I'm sorry. You could hate me for saying it. You could disagree with me for saying it. But you look at the landscape of the NFL. You look at what the type of offense that Dable wants to. Dable's not a ground and pound. He's not a ground and pound guy. He's never been a ground and pound guy. He's doing it because of the fact that this is what he has. When your quarterback throws and completes 14 passes one game behind the line of scrimmage, it's because they have no trust in their quarterback. 14 completions behind the line of scrimmage. There's so many stats, like Daniel Jones, in reference to the amount of time the ball spends in the air, is last in the league. Daniel Jones, the amount of time the ball travels yardage-wise, is last in the league. And he still holds on to the ball first to second or third longest in the league. And you can watch games, and even Kurt Warner and other people have pointed out that he checks down immediately, does not look at the deep option when he's had guys wide open. So what exactly has he earned? That the defense has stepped up, that Saquon Barkley is killing himself out there week in and week out? What has he earned? I hate when people say, well, he's earned it. He's earned nothing. You have one season. How many players have had one great season? How many players have won one great game? Timmy Smith, Super Bowl, 200 yards. Washington Redskins, out of the league 2 years later because of drug problems and other issues. You want to look at things at a moment in time? No, you have to look at things at the longevity, because you know what? Football is a long term. It's not a seasonal game. It's a long-term game. You play long ball. So what has he done to have earned it? What has he done to have earned it? Seriously. And I always bring this question up to people. What has he done to actually earn? And I hate when they say, well, he's earned his contract. He's not earned anything. 13 touchdowns is earning a contract for $20 million? 13 touchdowns is going to get you a $32 million cap hold if you tag him? What have you earned? Seriously, what have you earned? 3 years before that, technically 4 years of mediocrity? The Jets are already giving up on Zach Wilson. The Jets are already giving up on Sam Darnold. And let me break the news to you. The Jets and the Giants, over that period of time between those 4 years, when they've had Darnold and Zach Wilson, have the exact same amount of playoff appearances. We've earned nothing. He's earned nothing. What is RF? Says, I feel DJ would do well in Houston and New Orleans. It's a free agent. I also see Tampa, assuming Brady retires if possible. The Jets are also looking at him. Jets aren't. I'm going to tell you this right now. I've said this a million times before. I have spoken to a scout that has been 30 plus years in the league. Same guy that told me the Giants were going to draft Andrew Thomas. No doubt about it. Go back and watch the video. Same guy that's given us multitudes of information that has been correct. And I always like to try to take credit for it, but I can't. He said that outside of the New York Giant fan base, the league is not high on Daniel Jones. There's no one out there saying we can fix Daniel. So there probably is, but he's saying that from what he's heard around the league, no one's clamoring to get Daniel Jones. Because you have a fifth-year quarterback going into next season who we've already seen what the ceiling is. And the ceiling is the floor. You have to have everything perfect around him for things to go well. And many people have said that over and over again. Everything has to be perfect for him to be successful. And the NFL is not a perfect world. I have yet to see who was successful in the NFL starting quarterback out of Duke. Dave Brown. He had a win. Dave Brown had a winning. People forget this. Dave Brown was 9-6 his first year as a starter with the Giants. They missed the playoffs, but he was 9-6. They thought he earned another year, and another 2 years after that, another 3 years after, and we were in quarterback purgatory. Todd says, why would you re-sign Jones if you believe in so little? You draft a guy. That's what they're going to do. They're going to draft a guy. Andrew Thomas not making the playoffs made me angry. How is Tristan Wirfs? I don't know how Andrew Thomas didn't make how he didn't make the Pro Bowl. I really don't know how he didn't make the Pro Bowl, to be honest. It's one of those things that it's like you've seen this guy play week in and week out. He's been the stalwart on the line. I don't know. It was nice to have a call go. You know what the problem is, ECK? We had a lot of calls go our way this year. So I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say that because we had a lot of calls go our way this year. How many successful quarterbacks have you seen come out of Alabama, Florida, Florida State, Miami, Notre Dame, Penn State? Stop thinking quarterbacks only come out of big name programs. You're right. I don't believe that. I don't believe quarterbacks come out of big. Wyoming, Texas Tech, powerhouses. Daniel Jones is not a franchise. What's up, OG Knockout? Preach, Tim. ECK says, what does he say? You take out Saquon and we have nobody. You're right. That's the problem. You take out Saquon, we have nobody. But it's 5 good games in 4 years. Yeah, that about sums it up. Duke is a basketball-led school, not a football-led school. That's true. Okay, at the beginning of the season, I didn't think we would get 5 to 6 million. We're looking. He's 2-5-1 in the last 8 games. A lot of those games we won via luck. Let's just be honest. It's nice. It's nice to make the playoffs. It's nice to win games. But you look back at a lot of those games, we could have lost at least 4 of those games, the first 6 games. And that's why I was talking about ECK. Is a lot of times the ball did or go. Those first 7 weeks, the ball went our way a lot. What's Todd have to say? Todd says most of the team, Jones, thinks he's coming back freely for free, basically. I love that too. If you believe in your worth, I always think of the Rocky. If you believe in what you're worth, you go out and get yours. From the movie Rocky Balboa. If you believe in your worth and you believe that you're worth X amount of money, why do you come back on a team-friendly deal? They're professional athletes. They're trying to make money. That's their job at the end of the day. If you think you're a $25 million quarterback, the Giants offer you 17, why wouldn't you just go to another team that isn't so much in love with you that they're going to give you $25 million? You give Daniel Jones $25 million, you are rolling the dice. And this is why they're not doing it. Shane understands this. I give Daniel Jones 3 years, $75 million, and majority of it's going to have to be guaranteed because he's a quarterback. You're rolling the dice with Daniel Jones, and if you fail, you've lost your career. You've lost your job in New York because they're not going to let you draft a quarterback. You draft a quarterback in 2023, you've already built up currency from 2022 making the playoffs. You draft that quarterback in 2023, you've bought yourself an additional 3 seasons. You roll the dice with Daniel Jones and he fails in 2023, you've shot yourself in the foot and you're basically going to get run out of New York on a Dave Gettleman pick. I've said this a million times before. I heard Rich McKay say it. I've heard Rich McKay say it. I've heard John Gruden say it. You win with your guys. You don't win with someone else's trash, because sometimes someone else's trash is just someone else's trash. What's up, H Money? This Vegas, this man is speaking facts. It's just honesty. It's just honesty. And honestly, it's honesty built in facts. Zach says, in a big moment, you always count on Daniel Jones to throw the key interception. People say it's only one pick, but the Giants were in scoring position. Yes, that's the thing. You're in scoring position in the fourth quarter. You throw an interception. And he throws such bad interceptions. He throws interceptions where he even comes out after the game and go, I didn't see the guy. There was that a couple of weeks back. I forget which game it was. He threw the interception. And he's like, I didn't see him. The Dallas game, he should have had 3 interceptions where he didn't even see the linebackers. Todd says, I'm not saying, whoops, wait a minute, we gotta make sure there's no one knocking on my door. Sounds like someone's knocking on my door. Let's see if anyone's out there. Hello, is anybody out there? Trying to see if someone's at my door. I'm waiting for the locksmith. Evidently, locksmith's not here yet either. Oh my God. What do we got here? Barkley is hands down the best player on the team. Barkley is the money guy. Barkley is the guy that if he is running well and he's running effectively, the Giants win ball games. If he's not, we're not winning. Well, again, like I said, when your head coach comes out and says, if we have to throw the ball 35 times a game, I don't think we can win. That's an issue. Steven says, how many times did Daniel Jones put the ball in the receiver? Yeah, okay. How many times has Patrick Mahomes done that? How many times has Tom Brady done that? There's and it's, again, I'm not picking on Steve, but there's drops throughout the entire league. People drop the ball. We don't even lead the league in drops. But that's okay. What's up, Mike? What's the sanity, Mike? But DJ leads the league in holding on to the ball. At least he leads the league in something. Hey-o. I understand that, Todd. I'm just saying that quarterback for Duke was unsuccessful. NFL. I think, was it Billy Kilmer? Billy Kilmer or Sonny Jurgensen is from Duke. Can't remember. One of the former Redskin quarterbacks, and he was actually a really good quarterback. He was. I just can't remember which one. Thank you for the Zach. It's just super chat with the Zach attack. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl, and what has he done? He's done nothing. He got money in. He had that one big season, Foles, and then he got money to go to the Rams and failed, and then basically Andy Reid saved his career in KC for 2 seasons, and then he made it back to Philadelphia and made a splash. But that's what he's done. You're right. Oh, geez. Says, I'm sick of these Daniel Jones lovers. Delusional. It doesn't have to be delusional. And I don't want to say that people are delusional. People are, though. But they don't look. They don't look at what's in front of them. They don't look what they see. They see the end result, but they're not looking at the whole of the product. That's the issue. And then it's always, well, if we lose, we're in a rebuild. If we win, we're not in a rebuild. It is what it is. It is what it is. He leads the league in INT percentages, so he does lead the league in something. What does Stalin have to say? Enough of Daniel. Nobody's hating Daniel Jones. Let's root for our quarterback to succeed, lead the Giants. No one's saying no one's saying that. No one's telling him don't lead the Giants to the playoffs. I told this story, Stalin. I told this story that 2 weeks ago, I'm on the field holding the flag, holding the American flag, and I am the last. I'm the last one off the field. Well, Lorenzo was there with me. I'm the last one off the field, and I'm walking midfield. And as I'm walking, Daniel Jones and the captains are probably 3 feet in front of me, walking towards the logo, walking toward midfield. I gave Daniel Jones thumbs. Come on, Dan. I said, come on, DJ, let's do it today. So how is that hate that I just point stuff out and people point stuff out that sometimes people don't want to hear? It's easier to bury your head in the sand and call it hate. And then instead of just saying you're being realistic. Players gonna play. To be fair, we can't say To be fair, we can't. We can't only judge DJ off of this season. You can't. You have to You have to judge DJ off the totality of the last 4 years. We judged Leonard Williams,
king of the almost sack,
off one good season. Paid him $1 bazillion. That return on that investment has not come back to fruition. What's up, my brother? What's up, Mark? Happy New Year to you too. On New Year's Day. We got another super chat here. I'll drop into the super each money. What's your opinion at quarterback then? What do you mean, what's my opinion at quarterback then? Our quarterback or quarterbacks in general? What's our option? I'm sorry, what's our option at quarterback? There's plenty of options. You have the draft, you have free agency, you have a bridge. The Giants, if there is a quarterback in this draft, I guarantee you that they will go out and get it. They will go out and find him. Like I said, I have faith in Shane. I have faith in Shane right now because of the fact that I have seen, if as a Giant YouTuber, I have probably seen, and season ticket holder, I have probably seen Shane, I would say at least 20 something times on the home games I went to. I have been within 2 feet of Joe Shane. I show the video where after the Washington tie, Shane came running down the tunnel because I was standing by the tunnel. Shane came running down to the tunnel onto the field with like 6 minutes left in halftime. Excuse me, in overtime. And then it was funny though, because I showed the video. And if you watch the video of Shane after the tie, Shane coming back through the tunnel, his first thing he said out of his mouth is, "I cannot believe we lost this fucking game." He didn't say it was a tie. And you could see what he was saying clearly. He didn't say it was a tie. Can't believe we lost this fucking game. He knows. So he will find a way. He will find a way. And that's all I got to say about that. Happy New Year to you too, Mark. GM Tim. I always tell the story. I actually got offered and I was telling Lorenzo the story the other day. I actually got offered a job in Tampa as a defensive quality control assistant. And this is when I was working with them, running their digital XOS system, their replay system. And I loved it because, it was great because he was like, you start as an assistant defensive quality control coach. Basically, you're just a glorified errand boy. And then one of the coaches was like, and you build your career up, and then a couple of years of doing that, you do this, then you get into being an assistant coach, and then you get into being an assistant, a positional coach, and then you get into positional coach, and then you go this, and you never know. Like 8 years, you could, be working with us somewhere in the thing because we really want to have you here. And I was like, well, that's great. Then I asked, how much money do you make? Dumb question. Now this is 2003, $23,000, and I was like, oh, $23,000 for the season. He's like, no, it's $23,000. You work 365 days a year. That's $23,000 for 265 days. I'm like, no, no, thank you. It's like, no, thank you. But I appreciate the offer though. They would have made an offer during the trade day. Yeah, they would have made an offer during the day. Joe Shane came out and said during the bye week and the trade deadline, I should say during the bye week. He set a parameter during the bye week with Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones, saying they will only negotiate contracts through the bye week, and after the bye week, they're not going to negotiate contracts. And he had reached out to Saquon Barkley's guys, and they had discussed contract extension, but they did nothing. And then then a reporter asked about Daniel Jones, and he's like, and Shane was like, we have not reached out to Daniel Jones' team. What does Jason say? Oh, Tim, but he's a nice guy. Mara wants an Eli-like. He looks like Eli, acts like Eli, but he's not even close. He'll be a backup somewhere next year. I agree. What's up? What's up, my brother? How you doing? What's up, Tim? Happy New Year, Mr. Williams. I am sick and tired of people saying because they think there are no other options for quarterback, they're going to stick with Daniel Jones. Like that's a winning mentality. It's true. How's it a Debbie Downer, Vincent? I'm just answering the questions. I always love when people are like, you're so negative. I'm just answering the questions in the chat. That's all I do on streams. I just answer questions. Don't ask for money. Don't ask for fame. I just answer the questions I see. What is RFFD says? I think of the quarterbacks with great season. I always think of Derek Anderson with the Browns in 2007. He threw 30 touchdowns and never even sniffed 20 after that. There's a lot of quarterbacks that had the one big year. Derek Anderson beat out Tim Couch at one point and led the team into the playoffs. And you're right. He never really did much after that. You look at Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia went through years of inconsistency and had a couple good years, but then fell off the planet again. What does Mike have to say? Aaron Judge, prime example of believing in yourself. Look, Aaron Judge, great example. You believe in yourself, you go out, you get what you're worth. I got to get that sound bite from Rock. You go out, you get what you're worth. Instead of a big shadow. One day, people are going to do this with Daniel Jones.
Who you see tonight? What play? Have you seen tonight?
Yes! Yes! Jesus H. God Christ! I have seen the light!
One day that's going to happen. And I'm going to come back for that day. Vince said 3 years, 75 is a minimum needed. Yes. And you can't do that because if you have 55 million cap space, you've taken 25 of that immediately. Now 25, you take 11 off the top for your rookie class. You're already down to 14 million with like 38 players under contract. OG says, other than this year, Dan Jones is averaging 4 to 5 wins. How can it be a rookie? A rookie can get you 4 to 5 wins now. You're right. Jason said, how is Tim being a Debbie Downer? Jones is a stone around y'all. I'm just reading the comments. That's all I'm doing. What do we got? Frank, what's up, Frank? Love DJ. He's a baller. Okay. He's a baller. Show me his balling. Ball, shot caller. I got the 24-inch rims on the Impala. So let me, what is he balling? What is he balling? 13 touchdowns is balling? Barely even could crack over 3,000 yards is balling with 2 games left in the season. 2-5-1 in his last 8 games is balling. Baller, shot caller. Let's go. Lions game. Go check out DJ scouting report under draft. 90% of all the same issues in 4 years. He hasn't improved. If you really know football, you're right. He hasn't. You're right. At least he's not seeing ghosts. But the problem is, yeah, I know. But now Darnold's playing well in Carolina. Has got him in a playoff push. Dom says, Daniel Jones lovers mental gymnastics. Their opinions flip because they're saying he's a savior. And then when he earned a 1-year deal, maybe they clowned you on Malik Willis any chance they get. Toxic. You know what the problem is, Malik Willis? I'm going to tell you the problem with Malik Willis. I actually spoke to someone in and around Tennessee. Vrabel doesn't believe in Malik Willis. Vrabel is trying to make Malik Willis a pocket passer. And that is going back to training camp, where after this first preseason game, he had Malik Willis stay in the pocket and he told him not to run. So now what's happening is you're taking the one thing that he does extremely well right now, and you're limiting him and telling him he needs to be a pocket passer. So you can clown me all. You know what I always say this, you can clown me all you want, but at the end of the day, sometimes it takes a year, sometimes it takes 6 months, sometimes it takes 2 years. But I wait. And then when I'm right, and then all of a sudden I'm right, and people like, and all those people that blasted me, no one ever comes back and said, I'm sorry. I love DJ. He's a gamer, leaves it on the field, but he's a one-read quarterback. Okay. See, that's a reason why you can love him. If you think he's a gamer, but see, here's the thing. This is what I like about Dom already. He's a gamer. Okay. I don't think he's a gamer. I really don't. But if you do think he is, that's fine. And he leaves it on the field. I'm not saying he does not go out with effort, but he's right. He's a one-read quarterback. This is what they refer to as a smart comment. Gave a reason why you love him. You say you love him. Gave your reason, but then gave an honest opinion. What does OG say? Bad Dog, Chris, and Fist think Daniel Jones is coming back near. I don't see how. Because it's people that are not steeped in realism. It's people that are going for the likes, the clicks, the bleeps, and the boops. I don't do it. I don't do it for the super chats. I don't do it for the revenue. I don't do it for that. I do it because I want to talk about the Giants honestly. And some people, you know what, just ain't honest. Danny Dumboffs. DJ played good. I said, yeah, DJ played a good game. I said, I'll give him that. But he's better not be here next year. You know what? Everyone can have a good game. Everyone can. But if you have a good game, and I forgot who it was. I think it was OG said he had 5 good games in his entire career. Yeah, he's right. And majority of his good games came in a dome. He threw over 400 yards in New Orleans. That's a dome. He had a good game in the Saints. That's a dome because it's a perfect controlled environment. Sonny Jurgensen. I knew it was either Billy Kilmer or Sonny Jurgensen went to Duke. I knew that. I couldn't think of which one. Vincent says, I'm just pointing out the obvious that Tim is a one-trick pony. He trolls DJ. Then you're a fucking idiot, Vincent.
Think you gonna get away with it? Not up in here.
Not up in here.
Vincent's gone because I don't deal with. I'm leaving, so I don't have to deal with fucking idiots anymore. don't have to. Someone even told me the other day, Tim, your hook is so quick now.
That's what she said.
I'm like, yeah, because I didn't care before. Now I really just don't care. Now I really just don't care whatsoever. Tim, will the Giants beat the Colts tomorrow? I hope so. And I said they need to make you need to win to get in. No backdoor shit. You got to win this game. You got to win this game like 24-10. Colts have an average defensive best. They have Nick Foles at quarterback. They have no running game. You have to win and be in. That's it. At the end of the day, that's what you have to do. I'm waiting to. The lock guy's still not here. The lock on my front door is broken. I'm waiting for the lock guy. So that's why we're going to go the stream until the lock guy shows up. Kevin says the one stat that most overlooks, they say Jones is no time, yet he holds on the ball the longest in the league. I know. We've talked about that. Daniel Jones was an ownership pick. I agree. I like the kid from Florida State. I mentioned him. I mentioned Jordan last a couple weeks ago that I liked him, that he's going to be a couple years away, but I liked him. I like him a little bit. I'm afraid they are afraid that moving on from Jones is a step back. It is a step. I tell you, the Giants are probably going to take a step back a little bit next year. You know, and it just happens because of the fact that the ball's not going to always bounce their way. We're also going to have you're also going to have the ability that, you know, you're going to have a tougher schedule. So they are going to bounce back a little bit, but that's okay. They simply are DJ's leverage instead of saying the guy is average quarterback is. They call me a hater for saying we get some guy into do the same thing for 10 million instead of, you know what? That's the problem. You're not a hater. And I hate that word. You're not a hater. You're just pointing something out that people don't want to hear. And when you go through life, you're going to find there's going to be more people that don't want to hear the truth. You're saying he's not a franchise quarterback. That's all we're saying, people. That's all I'm saying. He's not a franchise quarterback. That's great. Yeah, that's the point. He's not. But that's okay. Steven says, okay, there are drops all over the league, but you guys killed Daniel Jones for stats. He literally has to throw to one. You know what? Again, we've said this a million times before. If all you can do is point out the fact that you don't have weapons or you don't have an offensive line, then you don't have a quarterback. There's been plenty of quarterbacks that have gone above and made their talent around them better. Eli Manning had the worst offensive line in the league. He had the 32nd ranked offensive line in 2011. Almost got himself killed in San Francisco, that playoff game. And they still won a Super Bowl. They want to give him $30 million. $30 million. The franchise tag for Daniel Jones is $32 million. And people don't understand this, and that's okay, because most people that have channels don't actually do research. You're automatically put on a $32 million cap hold. So if you have $55 million, there automatically is a $32 million cap hold the moment you franchise tag someone, until he either signs that tag and then it goes into the Rule 51, or you renegotiate a contract, or you negotiate a contract. So you are going to kill yourself in the cap by giving him a cap hold of $32 million. I'm going to drop the mic on you, Steven. Evan Ingram. Jones detractors want him to play better. Jones supporters don't want him to screw up. You should be confident your quarterback is going to play well, not just hoping he does. That's a great line. That's a great line, Todd. That's a great line. What do we got here? Couldn't hold on to the ball long, directly concorded, simply not getting open and not getting separation. You throw your receivers open in the NFL. You create what they refer to as passing windows, throwing windows. Sorry. Tim DJ signs elsewhere. The Giants will trade. You know what I also think is funny? People also forget DJ signs elsewhere. We get the compensatory pick. That's okay. That's okay. Todd, some people have known this, what a DJ is. You're just slow. What? He's not slow. Nobody's slow. That's not nice. Jason, you're going to timeout. I'm not going to block you, but you're going to timeout, Jason. Daniel Jones is also the luckiest quarterback regarding the interceptions. Oh my God. If you want to be RFFD came up with a huge one. If you want to talk about luck this year for Daniel Jones, I can think of at least 8 interceptions. I can think of at least 3 in the first Dallas game that were dropped. You had a couple of them that in Jacksonville, the guy catches it. He runs for a touchdown. He runs right in for a touchdown. What is going on upstairs? I don't know what the hell is going on upstairs. I got to check the camera again. No, still nobody there. Let's check. Hello? Is anybody out there? No. Well, I like this. Then you can rotate the cameras. I have all these cameras in my house and around my house. I love it because I feel like I'm a spy. I feel like it's freaking Mission Impossible here. Cameras, floodlights. It's great. He should have had 3 interceptions. Man, I trade for Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, man. That's a story. Purdy's a story in itself. We'll get into that one day. Mike Lee says, who do you get like a quarterback in the draft that the Giants could get? Who do you think Joe likes and what can they get? The Giants can get any quarterback they want in the draft, except probably the first overall pick. But like I said, I'm going to just go with what Shane and Dave will do because I have faith in them organizationally. Derek Carr is a better quarterback than Jones. Look at the stats. Stats don't lie. Jay says the Giants are going to take this one 21-20. I hope not. Adoree Jackson is doubtful, and I don't think Xavier McKinney's playing. Unless something has changed as of yesterday. Adoree Jackson was doubtful yesterday. Injury report. Let's look at Zach there. Let's see here. Xavier McKinney is out, and Adoree Jackson is doubtful. Doubtful usually means you're not playing. Questionable means you'll play. Probable means you will play. Doubtful means you usually don't play. But he's out. Hold on, guys. I gotta take this. All right, we got less than 10 minutes. Locksmith's on the way. What's going on, my brother? How you doing? Happy New Year to you too. DJ Lovers Mustang Chad Pennington is Daniel Jones, Hall of Fame. Guys, going on, my brother? How you doing? Hi, Nikki. What's going on? How you doing? I am the GOAT. I'm the greatest of all time. RF has to say, Dana Jones fans everywhere. We signed him to 25 million plus. That's crazy. Well, I didn't realize the dome thing. Look at, and this is the thing. Look at his best games. They're all in a fucking dome. I did a video on that the other day, and people were like, you're just hating. No, they're in a dome. A controlled environment. And Daniel Jones has to be in a controlled environment because everything needs to be perfect for him. What's up, honey pot? I've never been a DJ fan, but he's definitely at least average right now. If you're the GM and DJ is another veteran quarterback, I'd take a rookie quarterback over Daniel Jones. I take a rookie quarterback. I sign Saquon. This is what I do. I think if you have a good system and you find yourself a good rookie quarterback and you have Saquon Barkley doing the same thing that he's doing this year and you improve the offensive line and you look at potentially getting him a wide receiver and a little bit better tight. I like Bellinger. Don't get me wrong, but Bellinger is not that game-breaking tight end. He reminds me of Ballard. He reminds me of Boss. He reminds me of those guys, which is nothing wrong with that. He's got to look Caden Smith in him. There's nothing wrong with that. But you get yourself a playmaking tight end, you keep your thing, and you run the same type of system. You can win with a rookie quarterback, and you're saving money through the salary cap. Honeypot wants to keep DJ. That's fine. We can keep him. You can keep him. What's going on here? My friend Tim said, how you doing? Really looking forward to the game this week. Hopefully the fans will be there and loud. I don't know, because I'm getting a little worried about the secondary market on the tickets. Because there's a lot of tickets available for this game. I'm going to go, but there's a lot of tickets available for this game. A lot of tickets available for this game. I trust Dable. I trust Dable. I do. Trust Shane. I trust Dable. Lauren says, I think we as Giant fans are programmed to look at the draft. Giant fans are now equally perpetual scouts. Of course you're scouts, because you also got to remember, people that do these types of shows, they're going to have their opinions, and they're going to give what it is. Steve Smith, Akeem Smith, Merrill Manning, Kevin Ross, good receivers. What did Steve Smith do after he left the Giants? Nothing. What did Akeem Nicks do after he left the Giants? Nothing. What did Mario Manningham do after he left the Giants? Nothing. What did Kevin Boss do after he went to the Raiders? Nothing. Where is the common denominator in that question? Eli Manning. Eli, and I've said this before, name me a wide receiver outside of Odell Beckham that took him 3 years to do it that had any success after he left Eli Manning. After they left Eli Manning. Booyah! Sorry. Oh, it's Steven. Steve with the super chat for the kids. Tim, you have your opinion. I have mine. As long as respectful, it's called debate. I really hope you don't leave because I love what you're doing, mate. I'm leaving. February 17th is my last show. Is the last show. Have a new podcast. It's Get Off My Lawn, The Mad Ramblings of a Gen Xer. It's on every place you can find podcasts. So if you like what I say or what I talk about, it's political, it's sports, it's movies, it's everything. And we've really taken off in the last, I would say. We've only been doing, I think, 15 episodes in, and we already have well over 10,000 downloads. We have over 300 something 5-star reviews on iTunes and Spotify and all these other places. So it's a good podcast, but yeah, it has nothing to do with, and you know what? The fact is, Stephen, if social media was a respectable place in reference to having debates, I probably would have stayed, but it's not. You got a lot of keyboard warriors. You got a lot of idiots. And I've said it a million times before. I do not differentiate between social media and real life. What you say to me on social media is what you're saying to me in real life. And if I find you, you and I are going to have a conversation about that. And that's why I tell people, be very careful because I'm at all the games. So be very careful what you say to me because I don't see a difference. And you better be able to say to my face what you say on the keyboard. That's all I always tell people. And I'm not a small man. Sometimes I'm an angry man. Oh, thank you for the super chat, my friend. This team is overachieved, and now the fan base has been fooled into thinking we have a couple pieces away from being competitors. You're not right. I'll tell you, you're right. You're not wrong. You're 100% right. But it's good because, you know, it's still fun to go to the playoffs. It's still fun to see your team get in the postseason. It's fun. But you're right. We need 2 guards. We probably need to upgrade the wide receiver position. I would like to upgrade the tight end position. We need at least 3 linebackers. We're gonna need some true defensive tackles outside of Dexter Lawrence. We're gonna still need a pass rusher. We're gonna need a CB2. And I'm still concerned about the strong safety position because I don't think Julian Love can man that position fully. So you're right. You're not wrong. I wouldn't say he was a star. You also forgot Amani Toomer. I wouldn't say Hakeem Nicks was a star. He had 2 good years. And I loved it because there was that one play. And I love Kevin Gilbride because Kevin Gilbride would take a play and beat it to death. There was a play where they did a quick pass to the sideline. And Hakeem took it like 70 yards for a touchdown. He took one step behind the line of scrimmage, hit him, quick pass, 70 yards for a touchdown. Gilbride ran that play into the ground for like 2 years. You knew at least that play was going to be run twice in a game, and it never came to fruition again. That's why I love Kevin Gilbride. I think Anthony, it's coaching and luck because you got to remember we're 6-1 in the first 7, and we're 2-8 and we're 2-5-1 in the last 8. It probably could be 1-6-1 because of the fact that the league did call that was a pass interference. So 2 good years he had. I give Hakeem 2 good years. 2 good years. Kevin Boss did not have success with the Raiders. Burrows did not have success. Manningham never had success. So, I mean, it's just too much going on. What's Mr. Singh? I don't know why, but I have a feeling the Giants are keeping DJ for another year. If DJ does not believe in his wares and does not believe in himself, he will stay with the Giants. And I think Mike Lee said it best. Look at Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge went out there, believed in himself, and got his massive contract. If Daniel Jones believes in himself, believes he's a starter, you go someplace else and you take the money you get. If you don't believe in your wares, you give a home team discount to the Giants. And the $25 million is not a home team discount, guys. I don't want to break the news to you because, like I said, you have $55 million in cap and you give Daniel Jones 25, you still have $11 million in your rookie pool. You're already at $36 million off for your $55 million cap with 38 players under contract. All right, guys, you know what? The locksmith is here. I'm going to have to bail out. It was a fun stream today. Maybe we'll do a stream sooner than later, but you know what? The locksmith is here, so I got to jump out. Hope everyone had yourself a good time. Those that are at the game, I will see you at the game on Sunday. This is Tim. You know what? We're gonna sign it out here. This is Tim. This is Online Big Blue Sports. Bring you the best of New York Giants sports talk. I appreciate everyone that hung in here for the last hour. You know what? We'll do another stream again real soon. You know what, guys? Thanks for watching. I'm out of here.